Yes.
Dan, don't lead us?
Me?
You're up.
Oh, I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of
of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the board meeting of August 26, 2013. Just a reminder, if there's an emergency, we have to clear the building. Go to your vehicle, please do not attempt to leave until so directed by emergency service personnel. Also, this is a non-smoking building, so therefore, if you must do it outside. Just, is Mark here? Just for those of you that don't know, Abe Siegel's, he's in the hospital in Stony Brook. So keep your thoughts.
Yeah.
My understanding is, Jack, that
Yes.
you said the email that said that.
Did you be on that?
Yes.
Okay, approval of board minutes.
Good evening, everybody. Approval for the board meeting minutes of July 22nd, 2013, please.
Motion to accept and present.
Sorry.
Any additions, deletions? Second? Second. All in favor? Okay, a whole bunch of stuff here. You want to read through them?
Sure. Okay, first one is to adopt a resolution approving the settlement of tax certiorari proceeding brought by Michael Capozzi, now known as JD Land Development LLC, for the premises known as 400, 425, 429 West Main Street, West Main Avenue, no, in an amount of $18,000.
Okay, just the certiorari is the tax grievance, is the settlement of the grievance. What happens many times with many of these is that they've already gone through the town, and we're the last guy on the list.
Yep.
So we end up having to deal with what they've already settled.
It's reviewed and approved by both our tax certiorari council and our tax assessor.
The tax assessor does the first recommendation, and then we have Jasper Schlesinger and Mahoney.
Yes.
They review it, they negotiate it. These are the price that comes down. So the first one's for the amount of $18,000. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Adopt a resolution approving the settlement of tax certiorari proceedings brought by Pazzo Pizza Inc. for the premises known as 69 East Main in an amount of $20,000.
Motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Adopt a resolution approving the settlement of tax certiorari proceedings brought by 44 East Main Street Corp., Frank Wall Corp., for the premises known as 44 East Main Street in an amount of $25,000.
Motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Adopt a resolution approving the settlement of tax certiorari proceedings brought by Lucia Galatafiore, Carmine and Lucia Galatafiore for the premises known as 51-55 North Ocean Avenue.
We don't have an amount
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
now.
$3,000.
Motion? Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Resolution to reduce the 2013-14 tax roll in the amount of $500 for grass cutting fees for property located at 47 West Lake Drive, and an amount of $100 for property located at 1 Gale Court.
This basically has to do with the fact that they felt that they didn't get proper notice.
They were on this is from last year.
Right.
And we had a little problem with our landscaper last year, and they didn't take pictures and weren't able to prove the specific at 47 West Lake. The people were home. The first day came out, explained that they didn't need to be on, and then they were on automatic grass cutting, so on the days that they weren't home, the automatic, they were just cutting the grass automatically, so I felt it was only fair to. We've rectified, it's a much better system this year, it didn't happen once.
Motion second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Resolution to reduce the 2013-14 tax roll in the amount of $718.53 and refund to the property owner of 32 Smith Street due to the damage from Hurricane Sandy. He was not aware that he could have had that done prior to the tax bill going out, so.
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor? So carried.
And resolution to reduce the 2013-14 tax roll for age exemptions not reflected on the tax bills for 19 Dogwood Lane in the amount of $1,165.80 and for 51 Shore Road in the amount of $1,107.75.
Motion? Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Hey, Martin, welcome to the Bob over here.
I'm gonna start at 5.
9 years.
It took you 9.5 hours to get here.
Okay, we'll start with the bills for the period of August 19th through the 26th. They total $562,402.37. Everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you. The 5 largest bills: New York State Employee Health, $109,193.30 monthly premium. Intercounty paving for Academy Street, $101,922.50. H2M Engineering, $36,859.49. Sewer Engineering. Eastern Resource for landfill charges, $22,992.75. And Benita West Tax Redemption, $16,122.85. And they total $287,090.89. If I could have approval.
Motion to accept is presented. Any questions? Concerns? All in favor? Aye. So carried.
I do have a couple other items. I do have one budget adjustment to appropriate from general fund surplus $14,964.51 for a vacuum bucket truck. And this is part of a grant. That's our portion of a $300,000 grant that we received from the state. We shared that grant with Belport Village. That's our share. If I could have approval for that.
Motion. Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. So carried.
I need approval for the general fund to loan the capital projects fund $296,484.83, which we will get back as CHIPS funds, and the community development community development agency $2,734.49, and that's mostly payroll, which we get reimbursed for.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you do have cash balances in front of you for June 30th and July 31st for your information.
Excuse me, Ron, there was a transfers also under D.
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm going back to that.
Sorry.
On the next page. We do have transfers. These are just, there's a slew of them. I'm not going to go over them. You have them in front of you. It's just to clean up accounts. If I could have approval.
Motion.
Motion.
Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. So carried.
Thank you very much.
You know, that 14,000, nice, well, basically 15,000 for the share of the vacuum bucket truck. That was a shared service grant for the tune of, I think, $257,000. So, and the vacuum truck we used quite a bit, and the bucket truck is the one you see, the big yellow truck you see fixing one. So, not a bad deal for $14,000.
Okay, we do have one public hearing. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing be held on Monday, August 26, 2013, 6 p.m., 14 Baker Street, Patchogue, New York, by the Village Board of the Incorporated Village of Patchogue, for a subdivision review for property located at 150 West Main Street and 25 West Avenue, seeking to subdivide the property into parcel A and parcel B. At said public hearing, any person interested will be given the opportunity to be heard.
This is the subdivision for the property for the library, and the splitting of the property for the courts. And I'm going to ask Attorney Egan just to go through it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a subdivision of land under Chapter 377. Before the board, there are 2 surveys. One showing an overall site survey. Both of these surveys, by the way, are required with Chapter 377. The overall site survey, which shows the building and the parking lot, and the second survey dated June 27, 2013, from Ballwood and Brush, shows the proposed Lot A with the building foundation for the Carnegie Library on it. Proposed Lot A is, again, we're doing this as the Village Board of Trustees is doing this as the proposed contract vendee from the county. This is not, you don't have the contract just yet. We're doing it as the contract vendee, hoping that we will get it. Once this subdivision is approved and the lot is split off, the mayor can approach County Legislator Clarko to make a resolution with the assistance of the county executive and the county legislature to approve this new the transfer of this subdivided lot to the village.
And then we return, transferring it to the library,
Correct.
hopefully quickly.
Yeah, that day.
That day. Just sort of slide across the table. Okay,
So, let me just ask you a question. We actually subdivided the property, it was the county, so.
We're going to re-subdivide the property. The county attorney asked us to subdivide it. They could have made the application as the owner of the property, and that's often what happens. They asked us that if we could do it as the contract vendee or proposed contract vendee to subdivide it with their authority. Yeah.
just,
They thought it would be quicker for me to do that.
right now, we have two pieces of paper. This came from the county.
Yeah.
It'd be a stack of paper just to show the word, so, no, it really is just out of ease more than anything else. Any other questions by the board? Public? Motion to accept? Motion. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay, resolution authorizing the village justice court to apply for a grant through the Justice Court Assistance Program for the maximum amount available. Whatever that may be. Motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So carried. Dennis? Mr. Kennedy? David, you're up.
Yes, thank you. Got there so quick, I didn't have the right page on.
David, I saw that your response to that one, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm certainly going to bring it up. And I first wanted to start by thanking the village board, and in particular Mayor Paul Panieri. As you know, I've been starting my reports over to Live After 5. That's the season, and it is our biggest event. And you may recall that on July 25th, we attempted to try to go as far as we could with it, but we had to actually at the last minute, it was at 5:30 that we canceled it.
It's never rained before until you became.
Well, I've been telling people, if there's a drought somewhere in the country that needs me, I'm the rainmaker, just send me and I'll be there. Because you're right, every event that we've had so far, actually Oldies Night on Friday was the first one where I didn't have to start my day looking at the weather radar. It was a pleasure. But I do want to thank you, Mayor, for contacting the police department and letting them know that it would have been important for us to try to get that rain date in of September the 5th.
Yep.
And thanks to your intervention, they have approved that we're going to have September 5th will be the final Live After 5 here in Patchogue. And on behalf of the chamber, we're very appreciative of your efforts to do that for us. As well as the other two events that did get rained out were Family Fun Night and Oldies Night. And unfortunately, before I got on, when they made the approvals on that, there was never a rain date included. And every time we came to you asking if we could get a rain date, even though we didn't get the original approval, without a doubt, Patty and yourself and the whole village board really appreciate that. It's made it a very successful summer, despite what Mother Nature tried to do to us this year. We basically got every event in, and I think that's a pretty amazing feat considering how the weather was going this year. And certainly we just had our last Live After 5 on the 22nd. The Thursdays, again, have turned out to be great nights. It's been much more family-oriented. I haven't heard of any specific incident that was a problem. I did get the mayor, as he was mentioned, did email me. One resident did mention, I guess, one of the DJs that were playing at one of the restaurants were playing inappropriate music. We were made aware of that. We've contacted where that has happened, and we've made sure that has to be monitored, and that will not happen again. Other upcoming events that we got, again, thanks to the village and our new member, Suffolk County Coalition Against Domestic Violence, we're having our pet parade, and that's September the 21st. I'm happy to report that there was a request to have a horse be part of it, but we did say that the horse would not be appropriate, so we don't have to worry about that. Following that will be the St. Liberata Festival, September the 28th. As you know, John Ferrenti from the fire department is our Italian-American Man of the Year. Those plans are progressing very nicely, and I'd even like to add that one of the most popular events has been our Bocce Bowl tournament. and we've kind of upped the ante this year. We're really organizing that a lot earlier. We put a call out to all the businesses in town to create a competition between the businesses to be crowned bocce ball champion of Patchogue. We certainly invite the village if they want to get involved with that. I think the Parks Department versus Department of Public Works would be a very interesting bocce ball tournament. And then our last festival of the season, we're extending our season well into the fall this year. We are having our fall festival October the 26th. Tomorrow night is the first committee meeting to put the plans together for that. And we are looking forward to September 9th, sitting down with the village to kind of go over all our fall events as well. Another thing I want to mention that we would certainly invite all the trustees to attend is our annual trip to the casino over at Davis Park. It's one of our most popular annual membership meetings. That'll be taking place on September the 26th. The ferry's going to be leaving around 5. We'll get everybody back around 9. It is open. It's a $50 per person cost, which includes the dinner at the casino as well as the transportation back and forth. Also,
You said the 26th?
26, which is Thursday, correct? So the first time I sent that out, I said 24th, which is my wedding anniversary, and I confused a lot of people. But at least I remember that then. And I also, of course, continuing thanking the great cooperation we have with the village. I want to give big kudos out to Trustee Jack Krieger. I am serving on his parking meter committee, and certainly as representing the chamber, as we were going along with this, certainly a lot of employees were confused or concerned about how they would be able to access certain areas that might be metered for particular reasons. And all I can just say, I know Jack's going to give a report tonight. I'll let the details come out from him, but I'm very appreciative of how well you responded to the members, came up with an excellent solution. I've only gotten positive feedback since we put that out there, and again, we appreciate the cooperation. Do want, as member news, Paul already mentioned about Abe Siegel, who's in the hospital, but I did talk to Mark earlier today. He's up and he's around, he's doing well. Some kind of blood, viral infection in his blood. They're still doing some testing. He might be in Stony Brook for a little bit, but I heard he's arguing with the nurses, so he's obviously doing and over the summer we certainly did, since the last meeting, get some great news about some of our member businesses. August the 4th, as you're aware, we had the Battle of the Burger, sponsored by Long Island Post Magazine, and Parabel on Main Street. Of all the burgers across Long Island, it was crowned the best burger on Long Island. I think that's a great honor. And I was also notified that earlier this summer, Dining Out magazine does a review of all the best outdoor dining across the country. And the Orr was mentioned as the best outdoor dining. The only one that got the mention on Long Island, only one of 3 of all of New York State that was recommended as best outdoor dining here.
There were 28 or something on that list, so they were in the top 50 really.
Hey, that's unbelievable. And there's a nationwide survey, so to know that that's in our backyard, that's pretty special. And we congratulate the Village Idiot, who opened up their new room. They've really improved their location there. It looks great. So a lot of good things happening on Main Street. And unless there are any questions, that's it.
Are you involved at all in what's happening on the river?
You know what? And I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, that's going to be coming up tomorrow. First of all, our October 16th installation dinner, we have decided to honor all our riverfront businesses as a way to reach out to the river. And try to get the Riverfront Committee back as a working committee with the Chamber. We've had some good conversations. I think what's going to actually open the door is that the October 26th Fall Festival for Main Street, the river businesses are looking to do some fall festival activities on the river as well. So we've already had one meeting just to talk about coordinating the efforts between the Riverfront and Main Street. There's no real details yet to announce yet. We're going to be continuing that discussion tomorrow night. But yes, that's one thing we want to start doing, is doing more riverfront activity.
Because there was a phone call to the fire chief about fireworks or something, and it really, no applications have come.
That was I guess something to do with the boat parade. And Joe Perry did call us as well, said, who put this application in and why didn't anybody talk to us? I explained to them that it was not a chamber event. We had nothing to do with that. The message was relayed to the chairperson of the Riverfront, the boat parade, that, that was wrong to use the chief's name as part of the application when the chief wasn't even contacted. I haven't talked to, that was, I guess, Wednesday of last week I got that call. I haven't heard any follow-through on it, but.
Because we have no idea what's going on with it. And I didn't know whether it was coming through one of your committees
No.
or not.
No, yeah, I mean, that's hopefully something, you know, if the chamber is involved with the riverfront committee, I think we could help smooth some of that stuff over. You know, they're a good group of people that try to run that boat parade. I've been involved with it. It's an excellent event.
Had it always been a chamber?
It was always a chamber. That group had split off, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was always a chamber event. You know, I don't know what the reasoning was, you know, why it broke off, but the group just continued to move on. They organized it separate from the chamber for the last 4 or 5 years.
Probably the Christmas wars.
Yeah, who knows? It could be a part of that. It, you know, it could have been a few things, but to be honest with you, it makes more sense if they come back around. You know, there's already a couple of members that had left the chamber that I did get to rejoin the chamber, using the fact that we were honoring their riverfront businesses at our installation dinner. So I believe the inroads are being made that will become a chamber.
So where was the application place for the fireworks with us?
You know,
The Coast Guard.
Oh,
It
yeah.
hasn't come to us,
Yeah.
but Chief Craig called and said, what do I know about it? And-
right.
and
He
they're
called
already-
up very upset with me, like, how dare you do that without talking. I was like, Joe, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't put any application in for fireworks, and certainly,
From my understanding, and we gotta get some clarity to it, they're talking about it being a 3-day.
that's what he told me too. Yeah, they try to expand, the event was always a Sunday. The last few years, they've been doing these little parties on Saturday night where the boats would already be set and decorated and parked, and people could walk around and kind of get a preview of the parade. And then I guess it was the conversation I had with Mr. Perry that they were talking about doing fireworks on Friday night. You know, I know Phil Butler of the Grucci family is involved with the boat parade, and I'm sure every year he does try to bring fireworks as part of it. We, in the past, have always felt like it really wasn't needed or necessary. I don't know if that opinion has changed on that committee since I've been involved.
Joe and I do a meeting with the Grucci's, just to find out what, you just can't come in and decide to do this.
Right, right. And this late date too. I mean, believe it or not, November, 16th or whatever it is only a couple of months away. So.
And for us, it's a big cost to it because between public safety, and what we need to do, highway department, it's just a simple process, as people want it to be.
We haven't even approved the boat parade yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's I will certainly pass that along because I will be seeing some of these people tomorrow regarding fall festival plans. That they better, kind of get in touch with the village about what they're doing with that boat parade.
I would just be concerned if they're proposing fireworks one night and the boat parade is a different night, and that's 2 nights then that you bombard the south end of Patchogue with incredible traffic. And I think one night on the weekend is enough for that.
I agree. I mean, personally, and this is me speaking for nobody but myself, I've never felt fireworks are really necessary or appropriate for that event. So, but that's, just my opinion. All right? Thank you very much.
Mark, how's that?
He's going fine, he's got another test to do, and then they'll evaluate him. And he's in Stony Brook.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, Dr. Taylor.
Make sure you give him our best, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay, Trustee Green.
Thank you, Mayor Pontieri. Just a few things, just as David mentioned about the parking meters. Things are going very well with that committee, and I want to thank David and the other members of the committee for their input. Their input has been extremely valuable, a lot of good ideas, and it's just worked out so well, I think. And the original plan has changed somewhat, but it's still moving ahead. Excuse me. One of the things that I just want to talk about is that the launch date, which originally was September 3rd, is not going to be the launch date. We still don't have a date yet. We're still working on that, but we have decided to launch it on Main Street and start the meters on Main Street first, and then work into the parking lots, because the the situation in parking lots, there's spaces that'll be metered from 10 to 6. Starting from 10 a.m. There'll be meters starting at 6 p.m. There'll be some free parking within the lots. There'll be some employee parking within the lots. And we have to prepare a system so it's easy for people when they drive into the parking lot to know exactly where they can park. And what we're going to do is we're going to color code spaces and have signs that show where those different kind of areas are. We also have to review the Main Street sign situation because there's a lot of loading zones and 15-minute spots and 20-minute spots and there's some 30-minute spots. So we have to go in there and we have to look at, how we're going to change those signs to adequately deal with different situations with businesses on Main Street that have quick in and out businesses like you guys. And we're looking at that. We're going to be looking at that plan. Jerry and I and Trustee Keys will go going down Main Street, seeing what we want to do. We want to eliminate as many signs as we can and not oversign the streets. So that's moving ahead very well, thanks to Trustee Keys. We're getting quotes, I see, for the installations.
We should be hearing about the blacktop and the ceiling inspection.
Yeah, we're going to start with the Church Street parking lot, restriping, resealing, restriping, and looking at the lighting in there. So we're moving ahead with the money that's going to be, the revenue that we're getting from the parking meters are going to be going right into the improvement in the parking system in Patchogue. So stay tuned. Things will be moving ahead. Over the next few weeks, we're putting together the plan. We're going to have a website. We're going to have brochures. We're going to have new signs in the village. And we're trying to make it so when people from out of town come into the parking lots, it's not going to be confusing to them. And with the help of the committee, 2 weeks ago, we figured out a system, and now we just have to implement it. So I want to thank everybody for their input on that. Another point with the committee and what delayed our launch date a little bit was the fact that the committee has a plan to expand what we originally were going to do into other parking lots. So that expansion necessitated bringing in more parking meters. And it would be 11 more parking meters. We got where is it now?
It's just on the agenda.
Number 4. So in order to bring in new parking meters, we have to get approval from the rest of the board to add those parking meters in there. And it's going to mean increased revenue to the village. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to request approval to purchase an additional 11 parking and multi-space parking meters at a cost of $117,535. Motion?
All in favor?
Sorry. Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to know what lots.
We're expanding Perry Street.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're expanding areas in Oak Street. And I think that's about it, right, Joe?
Was that as a result of the?
Oh, well, the original, well, we already had the 2 for the railroad station. So just expanding it out a little bit more to add other parking lots and just, additional meters in some of the lots.
So what areas will still be free?
There's portions of each parking lot that have free parking like that. So it's
In the back of
out of
the
region.
church.
Yeah, back at the Congregational Church,
Burlington?
behind Burlington, on Terry Street. Most of the spaces that are along the street area are going to be free. There's still a laundromat, by the laundromat there is going to be free. So there's an adequate amount of free parking still in the lots.
65, 35?
About 65% will still be free parking.
This amount is the total cost of the lease?
The addition, the equipment, that's the equipment.
The lease is a 4.3% lease.
5 years. The question is that, you know, we're investing a lot of money to make this project create revenue to improve our lots and maybe potentially in the future acquire some property and expand our lots. And we're setting up a separate fund, so the revenue that's collected from these parking meters will go into that fund.
Yes.
What I would like to know, whether Brian may be able to answer that question or Ron, is that the first dollars that we collect get repaid to the village taxpayers that are actually funding the implementation of this, engineering.
Yes.
You know, the
Yeah, we've set up a-
178,000.
yeah.
So those first dollars that are collected will go specifically to cover those costs.
Yes.
She's set up a capital fund already, that those expenses that are going to.
And that includes GOC's engineering as well, or just
I would think
the
so.
hard
Yeah, all of
costs?
that. Anything that is specific to parking.
Okay. So all the signage and the restriping and everything else will be covered by the revenue from the meters?
Yes, yes,
Right.
yeah.
Very good.
Did we get a move on?
Yeah.
Thank you. So keep tuned in. David will be having, once Jerry and I get the plan together, we'll present it to the committee, and then we'll tweak it and make any changes. Again, we'll be having a public meeting about the parking meters once we get the plan into place to educate the store owners and the residents on how they work, and that will be at the Patchogue Theater sometime prior to the launch on Main Street. So again, just to reiterate, they'll be launching on Main Street, and you guys will have a good period of time to let your people know, let your employees know. As far as the purchasing of employee passes, employee stickers, we'll have the details on that. The employee sticker, just to let you know, is going to be similar to a auto registration sticker. So the employees, it's a small amount of money that they would pay and have it stamped on what month that expires. So it's a much easier system than was originally planned. Village residents will be able to come to Village Hall to get their village parking sticker, and they'll be able to park free in any lot, regardless of where it is. The on-street parking, they'll still have to pay. We've got to do that because we need to continually move those spaces and free them up. So we don't want anybody parking there all day. So that's, any other questions on parking from?
No, I'm happy to hear that, these costs are going to be covered before we start looking to acquire any future property or, and if we can get an accounting of what those costs are, I appreciate it. I don't know if Ron could pull that together for us, that'd be great.
Now, Joe, I was looking at the Jayco estimate here, or the bid. It only comes out to, from what I could see, 21 stations.
No, we added.
You added them?
Yeah, the proposal for 21 stations is like 37.
Okay, so it's just not to exceed 65,000.
Right.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay.
I had asked Jody if I could get it updated, he wasn't able to get it for me in time for the packet, so
Okay.
I just hand wrote them.
All right, so
Yeah.
we will get an updated one? Okay, great. A resolution to waive the zoning board of appeals application fee of $200 for Anthony Bocelli for his application relative to his residence at 43 Ketchum Avenue. What is that for?
This was an application, this was an installation that was informally approved by the building department, and it turned out that they actually needed, upon further review, a zoning board of appeals application for it. So instead of penalizing the homeowner who acted in complete good faith on the advice and the counsel of the building department, he does have to make a zoning board application on a strict interpretation of the code. instead of punishing a homeowner for following instruction from the building department, the recommendation was that it was best that it does make the zoning board of application satisfy the code, but that the code, that the application fee be waived, and that fee can only be waived by the board.
Motion?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Okay.
I'd like to request approval to hire Brendan Gorman as a relief dispatcher for the firehouse. Motion?
Second.
Second.
Good.
Aye.
It's okay.
Request approval for the residents of Bay Village to hold a block party on Emily Drive on Sunday, September 1st, from 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We'd like to waive the alcohol rule. Okay. Motion?
Second.
Yeah, if I could just say that they're asking for DJ, and the music can't play past 9, so I think we should stipulate 9.
Okay. So 9 o'clock, shut off of the music.
Correct.
You're at second.
All in favor?
Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, before trustee Keys, because he's going to bring up something that goes along with this. Many, many years ago, 2 assembly people ago, Assemblywoman Eddington had applied for and gotten from the state approval for a $250,000 grant to pay back the Community Development Agency for the property that they donated to Art Space, and the rest to be used for infrastructure on Terry Street. Well, flash forward 4 or 5 years, and Assemblyman Dean Murray, worked it and worked it and worked it, but what it finally came through as, it was called a CCAP grant. The CCAP grant only allows you to do infrastructure. So what I'm going to recommend to the board is, number one, that we set up a budget for that, and that the village matches funds of $7,641, so the total Terry Street expense would be $257,641. That we appropriate from the general fund $119,000 to reimburse the Community Development Agency for the value of the property given to complete the Art Space project, because those would have been funds we would have taken to do infrastructure work on Terry Street anyway. So, first of all, a motion to create a budget and a fund for Terry Street in the amount of $257,641. Motion. Second.
Can you just clarify that again for me? That
Okay.
kind of like read over my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Initially, the funds that Assemblywoman Eddington asked for was for the payment of CDA agency for that property, plus $250,000 of additional funds we can do infrastructure, sidewalks, curbs, anything on Terry Street. And my whole thing at that point was to be able to pave Terry Street to take care of the sidewalks of the village sidewalk, going east towards Railroad Avenue, put some additional lighting and really clean up the area. When the grant came through, it does not allow us to spend the money to reimburse CDA for their property that they put in. So we've been carrying on the books monies owed to CDA in the amount of $119,000 for this property that we were initially supposed to get just as grant money. So what I'm asking is that we also approve that we take from surplus $119,000, I think the initial payment is $115,000 anyway, to reimburse the Community Development Agency for those monies owed to us for the CDA property that was given to Art Space.
So this is the figure that's been, like you said, on our books since
They won.
we acquired the property, right, assembled, finished assembly.
Yeah, and we're waiting, my hope was is that the grant would come through as it was initially proposed.
So how much are they actually awarding?
$257,000. That's $250,000. We have to make a contribution of $7,641. How they get that number, I don't know. So there's $257,000 to be spent.
So all that money can be spent on Terry Street.
All of this can be spent on Terry. No, it can only be spent on Terry Street. They're gonna reimburse us.
High Street.
Yeah, they're reimbursing us. We can take and get reimbursed for the curb work when we created the diagonal spaces. we're gonna get reimbursed the $40,000.
So this monies we spent, that's just gonna go to reimburse us, so.
That will
that's
reimburse
not
us.
Necessarily what we have left.
So we'll probably have left about, well, 115 for that, 257. 242 minus, not this, 142. Yeah.
I know what we can
Yeah.
do. Trees.
Trees. Well, we could put trees.
We don't have any trees down there.
So, but the thing is to be able to reimburse the CDA and get that off our books. Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Surprise Mary, went back to vacation, to the money in her bank account.
Hi, folks. Yeah.
Bye, Mark. Give
Bye,
us
Mark.
Dad.
Yeah, give our best.
I will.
Trustees.
Mr. Mayor, fellow trustees, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of things I have actually. I did want, I know Billy's not here, but I wanted to mention the Battle of Burgers. That really went well, and I think you guys in Parks and Rec did a really good job, and, carried, we were on top of burgers the whole time. Looking good. That was a good event. Pretty cool. Also, CDA report, the mayor mentioned the situation with Tegan Hulse, who has really been, marrying, sung her praises a few times here. And it's really been a very, very useful and productive person to have, working out of our office. And so I think it'd be in our best interest to absorb that cost of the funds that were cut. So I'm going to request approval to hire Tegan Hulse as a part-time case manager for CDA at $20 per hour, which not to exceed $4,000 a year. She generally worked 1 day a week, 4 hours a day. So, and she meet with seniors and very helpful to Medicaid forms and any kind of information that a senior may need. I think she's going to spend the day down at the Bay House, 380 Bay rather, working with seniors there as well as part of this operation.
The part of it was too that when the advance had done their article, when you read it, and the woman that came and said that she didn't have anybody to speak to get information from, kind of strikes you the need to have somebody out here that has that background, the ability to do the research. And $4,000 a year is a pretty good deal. Motion to accept hiring Keegan Hulse as a part-time case manager. CDA. Motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And also, as part of the CDA report, actually John Bojack brought it to our attention, the county funding for first-time homeowners. I guess maybe you want to talk a little more about it later, John, it's up to you. But at any rate, I guess it's low-interest mortgage rates for first-time homeowners, that kind of program through the grant.
I'll talk about it later.
Okay. But at any rate, the CDA has agreed to provide whatever help they can, so residents can actually get the information by calling our CDA office. And if enough interest is generated, CDA will hold a first-time homeowners workshop to assist in any way they can, as far as that program goes, and working with that program. I also, before I forget, I got a voicemail today from one of our friends of the felines, and they left us in my mailbox. They ran out of grant money, so they're going to have a fundraiser. The Friends of the Felines, by the way, are the people who we mainly care for the feral cats and try to stabilize the feral cat situation in the village. They have the spay neuter release program, and they really do work very hard. It's more time dedicated to that than most of us would probably want to put to that cause. But I've seen a difference. It has been helpful. The problem isn't the animals, the problem is the people who drop them off, leave them. But anyway, so this fundraiser is going to be at Hoptron Boutique, Main Street in Patchogue, Thursday, September 26th from 7 to 10. 20% of the night's proceeds will go to benefit the cause. I have this flyer, I'm sure they're going to hand some others out, but you probably want to give me a call, or, I don't know, Patty, if you can, maybe we want to go to the office, in case anybody calls, they can at least pass the information on.
And that's also on the bulletin.
I'm sorry?
It's on the bulletin board. And I
It
have
is,
it.
okay, all right, thank
I
you.
don't know if you could put something in with Mike.
Yeah, maybe Michael, and if it, talk to me afterwards, I'll try to get some of this info as well. DPW, I don't want to speak too soon on this, but I'm a little optimistic. We're having an EPA audit. They're starting to audit all the villages. EPA and DEC checking on our, how we're doing with our, waterway systems as far as the drainage and stormwater runoff kind of things, what we're doing to stay on top of that. Where our outfalls are, whether or not we have them mapped and stuff. But anyway, there were 2 days this week, and 5, 6 years ago, we were like in pretty bad shape here in the village, as far as our record keeping and as far as what we were doing actually to monitor and maintain that situation. We got some very good vibes, I guess, or impressions from the people that came around us for a couple of days. Like I said, I don't want to talk too soon until we get the written audit, but it was a pretty good, I think they could see the progress that we made here, and feeling pretty good about that. What we did find during that was we had a broken drainage pipe on Lakeview, a lot of silt going into the Patchogue Lake. This was discovered while we were doing this audit, actually. So I am requesting approval to hire Ed Cork Company to replace, I think there's something in your packet, it's not on the agenda, to replace the drain pipe on Lakeview Drive.
It's Lakewood.
Lakewood, give me that. Why do I keep writing it? Lakewood Drive at a cost not to exceed $7,500.
Motion. Second. Second. In favor? Okay.
I'm requesting approval to hire J-Co Consultants to install meter footings at a cost not to exceed $65,000.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Requesting approval to hire Chesterfield Construction to reconstruct the bulkhead at Campbell Street. I think I spoke about that a few weeks ago. At a cost not to exceed $70,000, money coming from the sewer surplus.
That actually should have said a award to bid too. That was a bid.
Yeah, they were the lowest bidder. We had a bid opening on Thursday, and Chesterfield Construction was the lowest qualified bidder. So requesting approval to hire Chesterfield.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Requesting approval to hire Rosemark Construction to mill and pave Terry Street at a cost not to exceed $115,000. Motion.
That went quick. Motion, all in favor? Aye.
Requesting approval to hire Rosemark Construction to mill and pave Ryder Avenue between the railroad crossing and Main Street at a cost not to exceed $52,000, money from chips.
Second.
And requesting approval to hire Rosemark Construction to mill and pave, there's a section of Division Street, actually, it's not the whole road.
This one,
Yeah,
Washboard,
yeah, the washboard at the west end of it there. To hire, to mill and pave Division Street at a cost not to exceed $25,000. And that will come from chips and fall.
all in favor?
I believe, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Trustee Green.
Nothing for this evening, Mr. Mayor, just, like, as I was coming into town today, driving on Academy Street, beautiful road there, Joe. How quickly can they put the stop lines back on the roadways? Is that something that, because I noticed that over the last week or so, that they can just make sure that the roadways are striped and stop lines are. I think there's you can ask the guys just as school's opening now, make sure all the crosswalks and.
Yeah, I think Joe's probably got that in the regular meetings thing, but I'll
That'd be great. All right, appreciate it.
Can you tell Trey, didn't he have some plastic that was striping there?
Yeah, it's a, well, we have that trial on the thermoplastic thing that they put down. I don't think we've actually purchased yet, it's not cheap. But that is something that we're going to do.
They put something.
And school crossings would be a good spot.
That Bay Avenue definitely needs to be, restriped
I
and,
know we don't have any of the material.
They have a big message, but that street is, well, part of the problem is in the town, No, we have enough money to do our half. So which half do we do, the north, south, or east, west?
Let's do it both and then ask for forgiveness later. It just needs to be done, that's all.
Yeah, there's a lot of action right now. I was just talking the other day about, some funding sources, maybe in next year doing a real blast on a lot of streets. We're trying to work within, what we can money-wise, but it's obvious that, everybody I talk to tells me that the road is the worst in the village, and it's almost like I can't argue with them because we do have so many roads that have, but including Bay Avenue, obviously. But I try to keep our fast. But at any rate, yeah, we are hoping to,
We want to show favoritism.
Well, thanks.
we did have a slogan, but I'm not allowed to say.
You should have a slogan.
Take the Carmen Marvin South.
And I believe that's all I
Yeah, it's all right. We're good on this side. The Bay Avenue.
The Bay Avenue is spoken for.
Good evening, everybody. I just have a couple of things tonight, all arts related. The Patchogue Arts Council, if you can believe it, it's been 5 years since they started curating the lobby gallery at Patchogue Theater. And there's going to be a show in the Patchogue Arts Council Gallery on Terry Street. The reception is September 15th, and the show, which runs for the entire month of September, is Artist of the Lobby. So every artist who has shown in the lobby over the last 5 years will have their work exhibited. So I think it's going to be a very exciting show.
Well, when you do that, make sure Patty gets that, like by Wednesday of the week. Because she's going to start
Okay.
doing the local board members.
Okay.
Just,
So that you know
yeah,
the
she
show.
should do it, Patty. Do it as an actual appointment. Because we're on calendars for those that use calendars.
It's a good idea.
Get somebody to do
I'll
it.
send you the. It's, so it's from 4 to 6 p.m. And we do have our permanent to serve alcohol beverages with the state rec authority. They usually approve that. We'll probably do something smart, just for celebration. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is the Patchogue Arts Council has a new photographers group. So it's like a club. There is a separate membership fee. There'll be seminars, there'll be lessons, there'll be field trips, and the first meeting for anybody who's interested in joining is September 11th upstairs in the loft at the Brick House. And they expect to meet, have a regular meeting at least once a month at the Brick House, and then depending on how many people join, what direction they'll go as far as field trips and things like that. And that is being chaired by Titus Canna. He's a very well-known photographer who lives in East Patchogue, and he's a member of the Patchogue Arts Council board. So that's exciting, something for the photographers. The only other thing I have is we did have our first meeting of the committee to evaluate the moratorium in the B3 zone, and I'd say it went very well. Trustee Creed was there, and Councilor Egan. So we have some ideas and put some pen to paper and plan on having another meeting probably in about 2 weeks. That's moving along. And other than that, I can move on to Trustee Hilton's agenda. Requesting approval to raise salary for Lindsay Dundas from $10.50 to $11 an hour retro to July 29th. It's a head lifeguard assistant manager position. Motion.
Actually, I did all of those as one,
I can do the whole, or all the salaries?
Yes.
Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3 additional salaries here, so if I could seek approval for all of those.
Motion. Second. Second. All in favor?
Okay. And then seeking approval to install children at play signs at the following locations: DeWitt and Smith, Cedar and Maiden, South Ocean and Maiden, Lakeland, 3rd Central, and Lake Shore and 3rd. Motion.
Second. All in favor? Carried, Lund.
Oh, that wasn't included in here? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I saw dollars, I thought it was something like that. Request approval for Robert Monty to be hired as a parking attendant at the rate of $8 per hour. Retro to $7.29.
All in favor?
Okay, and then I have one more thing. We need approval for Department of Public Works to hang the Liz Kelly banner near the Brick House 2 weeks before the date of the race, I guess is 9/22. That's a motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Did we already?
We already approved St. Liberata,
I saw an email, yeah. I
We
was just
approved
gonna
the
check.
event, but not the, we're gonna have to coordinate with the St. Liberata as far as the Liz Kelly banner,
Well, Liz has one back.
one banner on the west end.
Right, so
We
we
can piggyback maybe,
Well, what you do is you put the St. Liberata at the other end for 1 week and do.
right.
Then when Liz comes down.
The same thing happened last year.
Right.
So we'll work it out. But we approved the event, but they didn't ask to approve the banner, so that's why this is.
Vote to be heard. Catherine. Sitting there.
Catherine Sindo, French Wine Spirits. It has been brought to my attention that 18 West Avenue has applied for a retail package license. They are located not even 500 feet from Quench Wine and Spirit. So we're concerned with that close proximity, that'll cause a big problem with our business. In addition, they would have to apply for a subdivision because the state liquor authority does not allow food, beverage, and I guess Subway franchise in one building.
Well, I talked to Carol about that, and that's the tack we're going to take with this zoning and planning. To see if we can make this into sleep.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, the hearing is coming up at the state on the 27th. Again, since they will not allow it, if everything is, if there are 3 businesses in one.
Right.
Oh, so we really don't believe that they're gonna allow it anyway because of the close proximity. We're not Brooklyn and we're not the city. And like I said, it's just, there's 3 other liquor stores within a 1-mile radius. So, I mean, one more is not gonna like engage competitive business, it's just could hurt my business and everything else.
My big concern is, like you talked about, and where we can really have our biggest strength is within the zoning and planning side.
Yeah.
And that's what Carol and I, and, that's the position we're taking, the property owner that will take this with our,
Thank you. So I just asking for your support.
not problem.
Have you registered your objection in writing?
Yes, I have, and I also have a petition that has about 100 signatures so far, which I'm just gonna keep going strong and leave it at the store, so if you want anybody else to come and sign it, please do. So thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. John Bojack, 8 Knoxon Street. So I'm just going to follow up on my comments about the loan program. It's not really a loan program. In actuality, it's a grant program. And since you're all involved, people who want to move to Patchogue Village, this is good information. So I'm watching Channel 12 about 3 weeks ago. They have a little snippet about this. It's the county that's offering up to $14,000 worth of down payment assistance. It does appear as a loan, but if you live in your house, which can be a condo as well, with a co-op, for 5 years, it's all wiped clean. That's a great program. And
Is that through the county or through the Long Island Housing Partnership? Or one of those?
it says it's through the county. Right, and in fact, I sent Mike a web link to the county site because it's really hard to find it. But it was there. And maybe the advances, the other advances, if there, maybe she can also put something in the advance about this as well, because there is a deadline, I think it's October 15th. So it's only a couple months till the program expires, but since we all want people to move to Patchogue Village, there's a lot of focus on Riverwalk, Riverview, and very expensive places, but this is income sensitive. But, why just live in Fair Harbor Drive? You don't have to have the same amount of money to move there, and there are many other co-ops for sale in the village too, and they all sound eligible. So it's a program, and it's a resource.
The biggest problem that kids have purchasing a property now, they can buy something for $210,000, $250,000. When you hit 20%, that's 50 grand.
Right.
But how do you come up with 50 grand if you're just starting out? It really is a tremendous amount of money.
Right.
But now you take that 50, you make it 36, or make the 40, you make it 26. You're getting close to maybe with other support from family and so forth, you probably get to the number.
Right.
So I think the 14,000 becomes extremely important.
Yeah, it does, I think, because it can be very important. All right. So I just wanted to bring it
No,
down.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? That was the gonna say, we have a row back there of people that you can all come up and give them all support and like it.
My name's John Gracie. I live in Shirley. You need the address? Good.
What's that?
You need an address?
Yeah.
25 Bridge Road in Shirley.
What is that, can you spell your last name for me?
Geraci. We're interested in starting a business, seeking a special permit to operate a tattoo shop in the village. I know it's been a blacklist for a couple of years, but we're kind of seeing a new influence of young, vibrant businesses and think that we can bring something better to the whole black cloud of tattoo shop.
I think that Mr. Egan is going to some page within his,
I have the
3027, 3028?
I'm looking at 435-21
where are you looking to do this?
on Terry Street. Was it 90A?
90A.
90A.
Is that the back of it?
It's one of the back buildings. Right now, they have a lease on the property for 3 months for a political campaign, but we're looking to be in after that.
435, what section were you looking at?
It's 435-21.
This was the office.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Tattooing is prohibited in the village of Patchogue. It's been that way since 1972. 302-7 prohibits it as against peace and good order. 435-21 in the D2 business district, where I guess that property would be located, that's the D2 zone?
D2 or D3?
That's, I'm not sure.
It's actually D3.
It's D3, okay. Well, D2 prohibits it,
Right.
and D3, anything that's prohibited in D2 is prohibited in D3, and specifically prohibited by the board.
Right.
The board's been asked to consider that, reconsider that a couple times, and they haven't changed that.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to dissuade the board? Signatures or, ask for demand in the village from a business?
It's not something that this board has been inclined to do.
Okay.
At this point. I would say no. But that's the board decision. To make a presentation, if you want to make a presentation to the board.
I'd like to hear, I'd like to see what they've got. I think having seen into different places and seeing tattoo parlors in other places, and now I see them in malls. They're now popping up in malls, and it's a shop in malls. I'd like to see a presentation, see what you've got to offer and how it could be different or how it could change the minds of this board.
We're also looking to be incorporated to bring in some, different kinds of art. We have artists who, do portraits and, lifestyles and just everything
But
into art.
kids who have a son who's got tattoos all over his body.
I'm sorry?
And piercings and rings in his ears, so.
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 different sides to, tattooing in the body industry. But the kind of group that we're looking for is the more everyday person, not the biker crowd, not the other stuff. We're trying to, everyday people get tattoos these days.
Just remind the board was involved in a very contentious litigation on South Ocean Avenue with regard to this exact same question, which resulted in an adequate settlement with that property owner. So people, while the board is considering the issue, just know that in recent history, we were subject to a lawsuit.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you get a hold of the seal of the village clerk? Set up a time, set up a public hearing, and come and present to us.
Presentation on, well.
And then we would need.
Ultimately,
Ultimately, we need a public hearing, you might want to do it in 2 phases.
Right.
But at least to see if there's any interest on the board in that.
Do you currently operate a shop right now?
I've actually managed a couple. My family's involved in many. My mother owns 2. My sister owns 1.
not to be left out.
I'm not a tattooist myself. I kind of stay with the business end of the thing. But, I've been around tattoos since I was 6 years old. I'm 32.
Could I speak on behalf of the South Ocean
Sure.
incident, because I actually do know about it a little bit. In Suffolk County, my name is Tommy Lynn DeLuise. He doesn't know about it, I've had to do some of the research on that. Do you need an address as well?
Please.
303 Jamaica Avenue in Medford. In Suffolk County, you have to be licensed, you have to go through an apprenticeship, you have to be educated on how to run a business in the tattoo industry and how to stay safe from bloodborne pathogens and so forth. Joey Black is one of the tattoo artists in the South Ocean location. He was not doing it certified for a while. He was tattooing without a shirt. He was really unclean. That's not the kind of business that we want to be running at all. We're a family-oriented shop. My husband's a tattoo artist, and I have a 15-month-old daughter. We're not looking for the scene of the bikers and the leather and all that. That's not who we are. We want an upscale art gallery tattoo shop. We want to be able to hold art classes for the children in the village, so that they get more than just art in school, where you color on paper and get a grade.
Let's set something up, come make a presentation, give us some ideas what you're looking to do. Let the board.
Would you be ready to? Okay, so would you be ready to do a presentation at the September 23rd meeting?
That's great.
September 23rd,
Sounds like her.
on the agenda.
And is there someone we can speak to, actually find out what you're looking for?
You can call, I'll get you my card.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Just one thing, before we leave tonight, I'll give you my number, you can give me a call.
Okay.
And we'll, whatever presentation you're gonna do, if you want some input or any kind of thoughts,
Okay, great.
I'd be willing to help you out.
Thank you a lot. Thank you.
Anything, sir?
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Felisa Mahabal, 119 North Ocean Avenue.
What's your first name again?
Felisa,
Lisa,
with an F, E-L-I-S-A.
and last name.
Mahabal, M-A-H-A-B-A-L,
And address?
190 North Ocean.
How are you today?
Sorry,
How are you today?
I'm well. How are you? Okay.
What's her name?
I'm requesting some sort of a safe passage article for the kids. The children have to walk from North Ocean now, they don't have buses. And, like a crossing guard with light or something along those lines. In the Oak Lake construction
We didn't get a good one from that, but
We did it.
truck traffic zone.
It's been in for over a month.
It's in,
It's been in since,
Mary
2
wrote
weeks
it
ago.
up.
Yes.
We have, Mary Castman, you know?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, she came to a board meeting, and we made a request to something PD for a crossing guard at Oak Street.
So do we go argue with them since we have
I don't
10 days left?
I don't think it's a question of arguing, I think it's gonna go forward, I have the impression. I mean, I didn't get an official letter, you can call Mr. Calarco's office tomorrow maybe and just.
Okay.
Yeah.
find
Well,
out
school
status.
starts in 10 days. So I was hoping that there was, some sort of a, and so there'll be a crossing guard, they said, or?
They requested a crossing guard to cross the children at the Oak Street connection.
Okay, excellent. Good to know.